guys, so today's video is going to be about my experience at London Film and Comic Con and also YALC, which is the Young Adult Literature Conference that I attended over the weekend. So I'm going to talk about all the events I attended, and also I bought a lot of things which I will show you, and that'll be very fun and cool. And I'll also put in some footage from some of the panels, but a lot of them didn't allow video, only photos, so yeah, I'll just put in what I have and hopefully you enjoy it. So I'd never been to Comic Con before, so on the first day me and my friend literally just went around exploring the whole venue because it is huge. There are two massive halls and it goes over 3 different floors, and it is massive. They have so much there. They have merchandise in the form of like comics and books and figurines, and also clothes and DVDs and posters and prints, and it's just amazing. There is so much, it's kind of overwhelming, but once you get into it, it's just amazing. And also especially there this year, they had the outfits that they used in actual Suicide Squad the movie, like the actual outfits that they wore. They had them on display. We were taking pictures with them. Obviously, as a nerd myself, once confronted with all of this amazing merchandise and memorabilia and everything, I was so tempted to just buy everything in my like radius. But I kind of tried to limit myself, so I didn't want to buy comics or volumes that I could just as easily get in the comic shop or in a bookshop. I wanted to get stuff that I would only really find at Comic-Con, and that's why I bought kind of prints and stuff that I could get signed there rather than just things that I can get anywhere. And so I got 2 prints which were like of films. So I got one from Howl's Moving Castle, which is this one, and I got another one from Coraline, which is actually really cool because they have the film cells in it, so when you hold it up to the light you can see through it, and it's so beautiful. And Coraline is one of my absolute favourite films, as is Howl's Moving Castle, and I just love both the prints so much. And then I got 2 other prints which are really beautiful. They're kind of watercolour prints, and one of them is Hogwarts. Obviously Harry Potter is my absolute life. And the other one I got was of Rey and BB-8, which I absolutely love. I've only recently seen Star Wars Force Awakens. I loved it. I still need to see the original films, which I know is kind of blasphemy, but I loved that film, so I just went ahead and got Rey and BB-8 anyway, so yeah. I also got a free Suicide Squad poster because there are a lot of people there promoting the film and wanting everyone to go see it, which obviously I didn't even need to be talked into it, but I got a really cool free poster that I love, that I want to frame because it's just so cool and I just love it. It's so cool, it's so colourful, and it doesn't really look like a superhero thing, which I quite like. You kind of have to like know what it is to know what it is, if that makes sense, but I love it, it's so cool. So then after seeing Comic-Con floor for the first time, we went to YLC, which is on a different floor, which is kind of a different event, but it's all about books and YA books specifically. And we went to Patrick Ness's signing, which was awesome. I love Patrick Ness. I love his Chaos Walking trilogy, and he's such a good writer and he's so lovely. And here's some footage from his signing.
Anna, smile.
Only one of. Only one of. Thank you very much.
And then we went to the My Teen Diary panel. That was so fun. Like 8 different YA authors got up and shared extracts from their diaries that they kept as a teenager, and it was honestly just so funny and so great and made me really want to kind of continue writing, and just, it was awesome. I loved it, and it was just so great, and introduced me to a lot of new authors that I hadn't heard of before, which is always a bonus. So on day 2 of Comic Con I had my first experience as cosplaying, and I went and cosplayed as Spider-Man in like a cool Spider-Man onesie that I had, so here's some footage of that. Yay! It's like nearly 9 and I'm ready for Comic Con day 2. As you can clearly see, I have made the effort today. Very excited. I don't think that the people on my street know that it's Comic Con. I'm getting really strange looks from people. So once we arrived, me and B accidentally got into a panel for Beverly Hills Cop, which is like an 80s film that we haven't seen, but we realised that the people were quite famous. It was with Judge Reinhold, John Ashton and Stephen Burkall, and we knew that we were in the wrong place because we got in and there was about a 20-minute delay from when what we thought was gonna start, and we thought, why are the people, because the people that we wanted to see weren't really that famous, so we were like, why is there a huge delay? And then I thought gradually as time went on, are we in the right place? And then they came out and everyone was losing their minds, and we were like, yeah, we're in the wrong place. But it was so fun, it was so cool. Even though we hadn't seen the film, the actors were just talking about their experiences with filming, and as an aspiring director I found that really interesting, that kind of behind the scenes look. And one of them has actually worked with Stanley Kubrick as an actor in A Clockwork Orange, and also Barry Lyndon, so that was like fascinating. I was like, oh my god, he's met Kubrick, I'm just dying inside. Then we went to a talk with the storyboard artist for Game of Thrones, and again I haven't watched Game of Thrones but I absolutely loved this talk. Will Simpson is honestly so lovely, he's so funny and down to earth and just awesome. It was really intimate panel talk as well. There's only about 5 of us in the room, and it was quite a small room at the back of one of the halls, and he showed us his storyboards from Game of Thrones, which are absolutely gorgeous. They were so beautiful, oh my god, and it made me really want to watch the show. And he designs like the 3-eyed raven, and he does all the concept art. Basically he just has to kind of plan out shot for shot what's going to happen, and because Game of Thrones has like 5 different directors each season, he has to adapt to each style, and it just sounds like such a hard and difficult but like fascinating job, and it was just really interesting to hear him speak about it. I loved that panel so much. So again, after spending the morning at Comic-Con, we went over to YALC on the different floor, and we went to the signings for Hollyborn and Sophie Kinsella, and those are the 2 books that I bought there, and that was Finding Audrey and The Manifesto on How to Be Interesting, and I got these 2 signed, and both of the authors were so lovely. And here's some photos, videos from those events. Then we went to the book talk with David Levithan and Nina LaCour, who were promoting their new book called You Know Me Well, which I hadn't actually heard of before, but I bought it after the talk because it sounds amazing. So Claire, get out of my video! Get out of my video! Shh. So this book follows a gay teenager called Mark and also a lesbian teenager called Kate, and it's basically about how they make friends, and it just sounds really good. And also they were talking about how they hadn't really seen a portrayal of like a gay male and a gay female kind of friendship before, and I thought that was really true, and I don't know why that hasn't been portrayed. Then after David Levithan's talk there was the poetry slam, which he also took part in. That was really awesome, and lots of authors got up and did poetry, and some people from the audience got up and did their own poetry, and a lot of them were like, oh, I'd never read in front of a crowd before, and then proceeded to be amazing. And I was just like, how are you so confident and so talented? I don't understand what's happening here. But it was really, really fun and also really inspiring. On the last day we attended an event at Comic-Con called Creating Covers, I think it is, and basically it was the 3 artists who were Richard Bruning, Ryan Hughes and Dave Johnson, who basically design the covers for comic books, and I think Ryan Hughes also does like novels as well. And it was so interesting. They were talking about what constitutes a good cover, and what I really found interesting is that Dave Johnson was talking about an effective cover is like a billboard, and basically the rule for billboards is if it's not effective, if you don't get the message within 5 or 10 seconds, then it's failed, because obviously if you're in a car you can't take more than 5 seconds to like notice a billboard, for example. He applies the same rules to designing covers. If you don't get it within 5 seconds, it's kind of failed. It has to be one eye-catching image rather than just kind of detailed and intricate, because even though that's beautiful and you might be able to understand the significance of each detail once you've read the comic, not having read it you don't really get that same impact. And I thought that was so interesting, and they're all so lovely and funny, and they said some stuff which they said should never leave the room that was really, really funny. And I just really recommend going to Comic-Con because it is very down to earth, and a lot of the people who are panelists do come because they love it and they love the atmosphere, so it's just really friendly and it doesn't feel like they're celebrities or anything like that. It's just really fun. Then we proceeded to YLC for the last time. Oh my god. And then I basically died because we went to Maggie Stiefvater's talk for The Raven King, which was, oh my god, so emotional, and she's so funny and so talented and just absolute goals. And she was talking about her thing with John Green that he caught on fire when they were racing in the cars, and she's just so funny, and talking about her inspiration for her books and characters and all of that. And she basically finds characters in the people that she meets and places that she goes and all of that stuff, and she's just so cool. And oh, I was in my element basically. And then we queued up for ages for her signing, but I was so happy because I got all 4 of my Raven Cycle books signed by her, and one of them is dedicated to me, and I just was dying a little bit inside. I was super starstruck. Here's a little bit of the signing, but I didn't even say anything to her. I was like, oh my god, I was there.
Are you excited? Move forward please, thank you.
And obviously, last but not least, I picked up the London Film and Comic Con official magazine programmy thing. Oh god. Just as like a souvenir, and also it has like details of like the companies that were selling stuff there that I really wanted to check out because I kind of ran out of money. So I wrote down a lot of names of like places that I wanted to buy stuff from so I can visit them online. And so overall, I completely adored my experience at Comic Con. It's for 3 days, and even though it sounds pretty tiring, and it is pretty tiring, it is so worth it. It is so fun. The atmosphere is amazing. The merch they have is amazing. The events are amazing, and just so cool. I really want to go next year, and all of the author Q&As and all of the artist Q&As and events were so fun and also just so inspiring. Like, I came away wanting to write all of the things and draw all of the things, which is just the best feeling in the world. So yeah, if you haven't been to Comic Con before, I highly recommend it. Yeah, thanks so much for watching this video, and I'll see you soon. Bye!